Hi, everybody. We're back again this week with the fans of the Hindi soaps that we're gonna review. This week, we're reviewing four Hindi soaps as usual, and from next week, we will review five because we will add Pavitra Rishta that will be streaming on Z5 to this entire ensemble of serials that we review. The four serials that we're reviewing today start with Kuch Rang Pyar Ke Aise Bhi, and we have Tanu and Manu. How are you doing, guys? How's your week?
Hello, I'm good.
How's your week, Tanu?
It was great.
So, do you want to get started?
Sure.
Let's start with Kuch Rang Pyar Ke Aise Bhi, which is kind of reaching an interesting turn in the plot, a twist and a turn in the plot. And I know a lot of people don't like this twist and turn, but Manu, do you want to give us a lowdown on what happened this week?
Yes. So, as and when Sanjana's madness is increasing on one hand, you see Dev and Sona getting closer. They are resolving their differences. They're trying to reach out to each other for problems. They're trying to help each other out in every possible way. So this week you see that Sonakshi and they were spending time together. They're getting romantic. They're talking about things, but still there is a barrier that, like Dr. Navya Anand mentioned, that एक साथ चलना और एक दूसरे का हाथ थाम के चलना. There are two different things. And abhi Dev and Sonakshi are at that moment where they're actually walking together. Yes, I believe they're walking together, but they're yet to hold hands and walk together. Because abhi Sanjana naam ka storm aa chuka hai unki life mein, but they're not communicative enough about that. Sonakshi could have asked Dev about the girl who keeps calling or who keeps intruding their privacy, but she didn't. And Dev ने भी नहीं बताया that there was this girl जिसने उसका tiffin खाया. Sonakshi now thinks that Dev is lying to her and other things. So that's happening. And Ishwari and Radharani, obviously, as usual, are being the unnecessary kebab mein haddis. So that's what we saw.
Tanu, what do you think about this week?
This week, Sanjana, obsessive stalker, she was like stalking Dev. But what funny part was that she never checked Dev's Wikipedia profile. And I was like, what? She's a stalker. She didn't know anything about Dev's.
That is exactly what we pointed out in our daily reviews that we do. Where is this showing this really technologically advanced stalking happening with Alina? The other stalker ends up checking Dave after she comes to know that she's married. She could have checked him before, right? She could have checked everything about him online. Remember, there were videos of him thanking his wife and daughter last season when he launched his new product. So internet never erases everything. I'm pretty sure they covered him and his wife, his entrepreneur, beautiful wife. All of that was shown in the last season. How is it possible that a person who wants to know who is Dave Dixit and the real Dave Dixit never bother to check him online and only starts stalking him online after she gets a shock in office when he tells her, will my wife like it? And then somebody else in the office also tells her that his entire support system is his wife, right? So how come she did not stalk him before? How come she did not know before she started immersing herself in his thoughts like that? That's a big loophole in the story right there.
Yeah, that's correct. Even I was thinking the same throughout this week. And like this is the first thing when we have a crush on somebody, we go and check their social media profile. We go and check to see all the photos and what she's doing. She's getting the selfie with him to have his photo with her. So this was such a stupid thing. And then, as Manu said, she's obsessive stalker. Even though she got to know that Dave is married, but still she's like, oh no, I will be the support system which Dave is missing. She's in her own Alice in Wonderland field. She's like, okay, मैं ही रहूंगी देव की रानी kind of thing. And at the same time, we saw Ishwari and Garib ki beti. They were like, okay, Ishwari is such a great portrayal of Mill. She's like, yeah, I'm very happy that Dev and Sona are getting together, but at the same time, her facial expression, she was jealous. There
She
was a
she
scene,
she can't let her son go. My
yes,
God, she is a typical obsessive mother-in-law.
yeah, I love the scene where Ishwari was like, नहीं मेरा बेटा तो cookies नहीं खाएगा and he will eat the mathari which she prepared. And they was like, okay. And then he took both the things. That was very nice of Dev. And I love the lovey-dovey part which they showed about Dev and Sona, the rain dance and everything. I really love this part. So it was good show this whole throughout the week. At the same time, I don't like Sanjana's character at all. So let's see what happens. How the Sonakshi and they were going to.
You're with 99.99999% of the fans of Kuch Pyar Ke Aise Bhi. Nobody likes Sanjana's character because number one, it's illogical to a great extent, but stalkers are illogical. You don't know the backstory of the woman. There's a sentence where Dave asks her, why did you leave such a cushy job in Mumbai and move to Delhi? And she doesn't answer him. So there is a backstory there. Probably she is like this. Probably she has there's some psychological thing happening with her that nobody knows. Because the way she's getting obsessive about somebody, and it's not only that she's getting obsessive, she's meddling with with the narrative because Dave did eat his lunch. They did not eat her entire lunch. She did not eat the entire tofu also. But she lied to Sonakshi about it, making her think that Dave is close with her. So if Sonakshi's antennas are up, it's not because of Dave lying. Dave is not lying. Dave doesn't care. Dave doesn't think of Sanjana in that way enough for him to even give her that kind of importance. Dave doesn't hide anything, but she's just not important enough for him to go home and discuss.
Totally, I agree. And regarding what you said, they have mentioned she had a boyfriend named Parth. So, which she had a breakup. So, there is a backstory with that portion. And this week, what I love, Dave was like, he went ahead and created like a school for his Sonakshi's mom. That was so sweet. At the same time, गरीब की बेटी was saying, कौन अपनी सास के लिए करता है?
तो तुम्हारा
So
बेटा चला जाएगा. What? कहाँ चला जाएगा? I mean, will he stop? I mean, it's just so ridiculous that the Indian families expect that two people getting married, all of a sudden, the girl has to forget everything about her previous life. How's that even possible? How can a girl forget her own parents, her own family, once she's married? That entire expectation from an Indian bahu is outlandish. And it's been going on for many years where ladke ka family is supposed to be more important than ladki ka family. But it's time that entire thing changed. What do
yes,
you say
correct.
about that? What do you say about that, Manu?
Well, this has been doing rounds since a long time, and the whole mentality that the girl's family is supposed to be boycotted, and the boy's family is supposed to be is supposed
Given
to be
importance,
treated like a
royalty.
very royal, royalty. Why?
Not only the boy's family is supposed to be royalty, but the boy is supposed to be the king. उसके दो पैर धोते हैं. What the
I
hell is that? Where is that coming from? क्यों?
I just don't get it, and I'm so glad that they've made a school from Asha's name, and that literally touched everyone's heart, not just Sonakshi, but Bijoy also had a change of heart. Like we saw
All of
that,
a sudden, Bijoy is a different person with Dave. He's not
yeah,
pushing his buttons.
because he
Yeah.
never thought that Dev could be this thoughtful with Sona's family. And also Bijoy and Sona's family somehow always kept feeling that they are not as important as Dev treats his own family like. But that day, all their doubts were nullified because the way Dev treated And Dev somehow is a non-expressive person, but the way he was expressive in this matter touched everyone's soul, truly. And Ishwari's and Garib Ki Beti's Choti Soch is like literally, I was like, girl, grow up, please. क्यों सास के नाम पे स्कूल कर दी तो कौन सा मतलब क्या गलत हो गया उसमें?
Because it's never happened. So it's going to take a huge change management for that generation to start uh, thinking about women as equal. They don't think, they think Sonakshi का घर यही है, वो घर नहीं है उसका, उसको वहां नहीं जाना चाहिए, उसको अपने बाप से इतनी बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, कौन अब अपने बाप. They don't think, they're not thinking about it. That's what she's done with her daughters as well. She's shunned her daughters too. She's thrown her daughters away. This is what Ishwari's done. She's told her daughters अपने घर वापस नहीं आना, वही तुम्हारा घर है. That doesn't work. What do you mean वही तुम्हारा घर है? I mean, when you get married as a woman, you are conjoining two families into one. You are not shunning your parents and getting cozy with your in-laws. You're bringing two families together, and when two families come together, they have to be equal to be together. One of them cannot be slave and the other master, and that's the end of that thought. Anyways, so this week was great. What do you think is going to happen next week?
I feel next week, as and when Sanjana's issue is going to get prominent, we are going to see the reality and the progress, the real progress that Dev and Sonakshi would have made going to these sessions. Either they are going to fully trust each other and are going to sort it together. They're going to handle this whole Sanjana madness thing together, or Dev and Sonakshi are going to again go on different pages like they were before the session, and it's going to create an issue. Either it can be a problem or it can be a solution to both of their issues forever.
But I think next week won't be the solution starting. Next week will be going down the spiral again, because they have to really have it go really bad before they come back together. So that's the progression of a good story. And Tanu, I think next week what's going to happen is that spiral down is going to start. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that next week Sanjana is going to create more differences between Sonakshi and Dev, and she will try to manipulate a lot Sonakshi, but we will see Sonakshi struggling to trust Dev. So that's gonna happen for sure. But
All
still,
right. All right, let's see how this comes around, and we will see you next week with more of Kuch Rang Pyar Ke Aise Bhi and what happened in the week, the lowdown, and what we expect happening next. And that's the end of this review. We will see you next week about this.